Saturday. And for all of you naysayers out there, all you whiners, all you people that were like, we're not going to have college football this season. We got 2 extra weeks. I was looking at the schedule today. It is not just like, a couple throw-in makeup games or whatever. We've got full schedules the next 2 weeks. Plus, once bowl season starts, we got games every single day. And it's like most of them multiple games. Of course, college basketball is underway right now. And our Cappers have really hit the ground running in college hoops. And, I've already been burned on the last second 3, so I'm good, for at least a couple minutes. The nice thing is like, you ever get like burned on, like you have a loss, like I had Eastern Michigan yesterday, and it's like you have a loss like that, and it's kind of like your whole day just gets away from you. So I had that Eastern Michigan loss, then I had Rutgers, right? And fairly disinterested, throws in the 3, like, all of a sudden they're shooters, It's like, and I was like, oh no. And then, then it's like we just do what we normally do. We bet against Kansas State basketball, and the world's a better place. And then VCU, never outside the number for me. So it looked like it was all doom and gloom, but then I ended up at 3-3 after. I mean, all 3 of my losses were the teams were covering, most of the game. It hurt. But, that's the nature of the beast. And if 3-3 is the worst day I have, you know what? We live to fight another day. And, of course, you guys will all get a chance to find out what that is all about. We've got our handicapping contest coming. Hundreds of people joining. I am stoked to see this. And, we're going to go over it more in detail probably over the next couple days. And I'm going to actually do just a separate video talking about the handicapping contest sometime today. I'm going to come on live and answer any questions anybody has over the next couple of days. But you have just a couple of days to enter. You can guys enter at the Pick Dogs Facebook group and the Sports Chat Facebook group. And note the word "and" in there. You can enter in both. You can have one selection in each. There are rules. Basically, by saying I'm in the contest, in that thread, you're agreeing to those rules. And that is, you got to be a real person. It's got to be a real picture, all those real things. And then if you do win and do become a handicapper at the site, you basically agree to our standard handicapper contract, which really isn't, anything fancy or anything like that. It is written up by my lawyers, but I had them write it in language that people can clearly understand. And anyways, got so much to cover today. I'm going to bring in the gang, and it is a big, big day of sports. I was looking at the college basketball schedule, and it's like we got weekday bombs of games like all week long. It's like it's not just, now. It's like all week long, massive schedules of college hoops. And then, and like I said, the college football schedule next week, when college football season would be over, next week would normally be championship week. Today would be Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn, Alabama, which we have. And then, a few of these other games, which we saw, Cal, Stanford, but we didn't get Washington State. That game was canceled. Now Washington is playing someone else, Arizona. But it ended up being, for us as sports bettors, despite not having fans in the stands, so that really affects things. But it ended up being better for us, right? We ended up getting a lot more weeks and a lot more action, and just, it just ended up kind of the college football season schedule-wise, it ends up better, So, it not as many games, and, some games canceled, but I don't know, longer season always works for me. Brian, you're on the board in college football still. What do you got for sale going on today? And, what do you got today? Today's a big day. I got a ton going on.
Not just on the board, number one college football handicapper, plus $7,400 profit. So if you want all 5 of my premium picks today, get all 5 for $50, and that includes the golden ticket, the Big 12 game of the month, and the extreme violator. All of that 5 packs. So you should check it out.
Any advice for the people entering our handicapping contest, since you are the number one college football handicapper, and there will be college football in the handicapping contest all the way, from start to finish. Any advice for the people that are entering the contest? 'Cause I have some real solid advice. And I know some people aren't going to like it, but I don't care.
I have a friend that's entering the contest, and I told him, I said, for me personally, try to keep it on an odd number of games. Don't just put 2 games in, either do 1 or 3, because it's harder to win 2 games. Because if you go 1-1, you aren't going to get anywhere. So for me, it's select an odd number of games, either 1 or 3, and go from there.
Chris, what do you got going on today? You had a good day yesterday, right? I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm going to skip over you and go to Ron Romanelli, who's got his mic. Yes.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm having problems with my microphone this morning.
Try hitting it over your head a couple times. Yeah, that'll work.
It's pretty heavy, so it might do a little bit of damage. But
that's the point. That's kind of the point. These things weigh like 6 or 7 pounds. I mean, people, they don't realize like how heavy these things are. Man. Go ahead.
No, we had a fantastic day yesterday. Looking to build on it today. I got a couple packages at the website. I got my college football book heist. We're gonna walk in, take whatever we want, and then walk out. I got 7-game package, $39.95. So I got my Slammin' Saturday college basketball 3-pack for $29.95 over at the website. I'm gonna put people in some winter stay over Pick Dogs Premium.
Any advice for people entering the handicapping contest? Any like tidbits of advice? We're going to go over this, each day, so you'll have, you don't have to spill your guts here.
No, but I think my main piece of advice would be just like normal betting. Don't do anything special just because you're in a capping contest. Just cap it how you normally cap your games, And like Brian said, try to get on. We're gonna have a maximum of 3 picks per day, so try to maximize your opportunities. But I would just say don't try to do anything special just because you're in a capping contest. Just do what's brought you to the dance.
Yeah, if you have questions about spread knowledge, you can contact their customer service. Our YouTube show about sports betting today and our picks is certainly not the customer service line for spread knowledge, but they have it. Ron, been pretty good this season. Steady is what Ron Romanelli is. He's like one of those steady cappers. Like I've been running hot and cold like the last 2 years. I used to be steady Eddie like Ron, and it's like, but I've been running hot and cold streaks over the last 2 years. I would say maybe even longer. I don't know. Now it's been about 2 years that I've been doing it this way. But Ron has been just steady Eddie, man. He just chips away. It's like, never has too bad of a day. He'll have a bad day, but it's never like really bad. And he has like, good days and more good days than bad, where it's just 3-2, 4-2, 3-1. It's like just over and over and over again. And that is the way you make money, So what do you got for going on today to make everybody some cash?
Yeah, it's a grind, with those 2-1s, they add up after a while. But on the website,
it's 30 units at the end of the month. Less the juice, so 27, 26, 27 units. Can't go broke cashing that.
Nope.
Can't go broke.
But since I've been back in the premium area, I have not lost a college football Saturday. 4 straight college football Saturdays that were winners. I have my top 3 plays in college football on the website. You can grab that for $29.95. And then if college hoops is your thing, I got my best play of the day, a play I really, really love in the afternoon in college basketball, and you can find that on the website too.
Spread knowledge is just a software that it just gives ratings on games based on probability and outcome. It's not like picks. It's not a handicapping picking. It's a tool. Ron, any advice for the people, the hundreds of people that are entering our handicapping? Crazy, man, the response. Because I was involved in another handicapping contest that we did a few years ago for a different site I was at, and they had like 6 people enter. And this one has like hundreds. I mean, literally hundreds. And I'm not just blowing smoke up your guys' ass. I mean, you guys can see it, right? It's like, it's crazy. Nuts. It's nuck and futz, as they say. Any advice for these people, Ron?
Well, yeah, I think it's awesome that we're getting a lot of.
I'm excited about it, man.
It's going to be real exciting. I can't wait to see how people do. A piece of advice I give is just don't overreact to one single game. No team is as good or bad as one game. just because, you take a look at St. John. That's my big example for college hoops. They barely beat St. Peter's, and then they go on and take LaSalle pretty easily in game 2. So just don't overreact. The lines are set for a reason, and make your plays based on that.
Any plans to troll the living shit out of these people when they lose?
Not personally. But
okay. And just check.
We'll see.
Just check. Any chance you'll be taking some pot shots from left field at these guys?
Ron's too nice to do that, but I'm not.
Believe me, I got 3 fake Facebook accounts. No, I don't have any, but I'm going to. I'm gonna get some cartoon character, act like a big hero. Yeah, nice frickin' pick on Michigan State, dumbass. Didn't you take Michigan State 2 years ago? Didn't you have the Jags last Sunday? Rod, what do you got, man?
Today I got a loaded cart. Today I got a 5-play pack, college football cart. I got 2 morning games, 3 afternoon games in the college football Super Saturday pack. I've got a triple pack of college basketball plays. Love those 3 plays there. Or you can get them all in one giant Rod Super Saturday pack, where you'll get all 8 plays there in one, and I've thrown in one bonus pick. If you buy the Rod Super Saturday pack, you'll get all 9 plays for one low price.
What do you think about our handicapping contest? Rod is the commissioner of the contest. We're all gonna be helping, and Chris and Rod are kind of running it, but Rod is kind of the guy. He's the commissioner. He's the one who, like, if you don't like the way that things are going, he's the one that we're gonna point some fingers. We're gonna assign some blame. And Rod, any advice for these guys, and anything that you're seeing as far as the sign-up process and everything right now, or any questions in the rules that I wrote up that maybe need some clarification?
The only thing I'm noticing is we got to work the clarification on the picks per day. I think on the rules per picks per day it says 1 only. Are we doing 1 or are we doing 3?
I narrowed it to 1 because I thought it would be easier, but we can do 3. We can change it to 3. Let's do 3. If you think I just saw hundreds of people, and it's like, because we know people are going to put in. I think that we need to. For me, it's like where the clarification needs to be on the rules, and where I'm struggling with them is the lines and point spreads that will be used. We have to say there can't be more than an X amount of variable between the line you've presented and the closing line. Because I don't think we will see huge line swings, but it's like there will be differences, and there will come into play. We know that.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll have to say something. I'll write something. I'll write something. I'll throw something in there. But I'm really excited about it. I appreciate that Rod stepped up to the plate and was like, "Man, yeah, I'm gonna."
And people,
let's do this.
There's 2 contests going on. We got 175 people in one in the Pick Dogs contest, and we only got 58 in the Sports Chat one.
Yeah, you can enter both. You just you can enter different different picks in each one. It's got to be different picks, but yeah, it's like, man, enter Sports Chat. Sports Chat is the bigger site, and it has more people in the Facebook group. The problem is that you guys know I kind of fell out of that Facebook group for 6-7 months, and they let some people in there that I would normally not let in, so there's a lot of spammers. But we've cleaned it up a lot. It just, it's not that active. But maybe I'll get more active in there, and I'll promote it as well, the Sports Chat group. But I like it. I love Sports Chat plays. I wear my Sports Chat shirt all the time, and, I'm way into it. I love Sports Chat's my baby. I mean, ask Chris. I mean, he's been with me for a long time. He knows. I love Pick Dogs. And Pick Dogs, I think, is cool, and I'm having a lot of fun with Pick Dogs. It's something new for me, and I'm just showing it's like, I've built, and it's like, here's people can say, oh, Mitch's ego, whatever. It's like, I've built 2 sites that do millions of visitors a month. To be able to do it a third time, to try and do it a third time, I mean, most people never get to do it once, and it's like to try to take my third shot at it is awesome. But anyways, I have a bunch of college football picks in today. I don't love the night games that much right now, so I have mostly day games in there. I have a 9-pack, but it's only 1 night game, so it's 3 morning, 5 of the afternoon, and I had to narrow it down to get there. I really like today's card. And then 1 of the night game, and I really like that one. That's like a circle mortgage payment game. That is that's just it's straight money, that one, and kind of like our Oregon State yesterday. But for the capping contest, my best word of advice, and people ask me what to do when you're running cold. What I do is I scan the internet for some of these scam sites, like for the lousiest, cheapest, laziest handicappers out there. And you can look at some of these guys post their records, and if they pick a lot of favorites and overs, well, then they're crappy, right? They're terrible handicappers if you pick a lot of favorites and overs. What I do is I find their discount code, I go buy their package, and I just fade their picks for a week and build my bankroll back up. And I honestly do that. You can ask Brian. I do it.
Yep. Well, we do it together. Actually.
Yeah, we do it all the time. People are like, "Oh, you guys are whatever." It's like me and Brian talk all the time because we talk about these other cappers and what they're picking, right? If we can get access to their picks and find out who they're picking, and we're like, "Oh my God, this is gold!" It's like I wasn't even looking at that thing. It's like you find the guy that took Oakland, against Xavier. You find that guy. You find the person that that took the Cowboys money line, on Thanksgiving Day. You find those guys. They're out there and they're selling picks to people at discounted prices. You can win doing that. Anyways, I'm just saying, there's just some of these sites have leaderboards and they have like all these handicappers. You can see there are guys that are never on the leaderboard on those sites. Never. Like never, ever, ever. It's like, my God. It's like, we have guys that run hot and cold, including myself, but it's like everyone in here has been on the leaderboard a bunch.
I went to a new pen today, so all today's picks are from a brand new pen. I got rid of my old pen.
I love fading lousy cappers. It's kind of like my thing that I've talked about a lot of times. When when I'm in line at the sports book and I have a pick that I really like, and I start hearing the other people betting the other team when I'm in line, and this is before the apps and stuff, so there wasn't, the apps are fairly just the last few years, but I used to wait in line at the MGM Sportsbook. Like that night that Michigan State was playing Boise State, I just can't even tell you how much money I had in Boise in that game. It was crazy amounts because it was all the money that was in my pocket plus my maximum on 3 ATM cards. Because I just couldn't get enough money in on Boise because I heard Michigan State so many times at the window. And then Le'Veon Bell just taking that knee at the goal line. Oh, boy. That was beautiful. It was textbook. It was like, everyone's like, I'm like, yep. Can afford to, I'll have some cash again. I had no money at all. It's like everything was on the game. But let's get to the games. Got a full card. Got college football and college basketball. We'll try and get to as much as we can. With college football, we try and go over every game. With college basketball, we're going to have to try and hunt and peck a little bit. Michigan against Penn State right out of the gate here. This line has moved all over the place. This thing has been bouncing. This looks a lot like the Penn State game last week. Brian? Against Iowa.
For me, I know we haven't seen much defense from Penn State, and Michigan's look horrible, and they let Rutgers go up and down the field on them. But I think we're going to see a more classic Big Ten type game here. Both teams want to win. I'm going to go with the under here for a small lean.
I could see that because I don't think Penn State scores a point. Chris? You got to put your mic on, man. It's like... I don't like that, Ron. I didn't like that gesture. I've seen that one before.
And this one,
that was the suck it gesture he just gave me.
Yeah, I like what Brian said about. I think we're going to see a classic Big Ten game. I know Michigan's starting Cade McNamara, but. I don't think you could take a side here. I just think the under is the best play.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Give me the under. Both these teams are going to grind it out. I don't see us getting a shootout with these two teams.
I think Michigan all day, man, and twice on Sunday. I mean, this is a layup. I had this as a premium pick, and I kind of took it off because I had a few other games that I actually like even more than this, but this is a freaking layup, man. Penn State's terrible. I mean, make no mistake about it. This team sucks. This is the worst Penn State team they might have ever had. This could be possibly the worst Penn State team they have ever had in the history of Penn State football. And they've had some bad teams, like that post-Paterno scandal year and stuff. This team is worse than that. They have no quarterback on the roster. Not one. Not one, man. It's like, and the thing is, they don't even put like another guy back there who could maybe play quarterback, like just try running the Wildcat or something, which might be effective, right? It's going to be more effective than whatever they're doing right now. Instead, what they do is they take like the water boy and stick him back there or something. It's like, let's get the guy that holds the wires, behind the coach. Let's try him, man. It's like, yeah, he could throw the ball 1.5 yards sideways. It's like, this team, I mean, this could be the worst team I've seen in a major conference from a major program in a long time. They're worse than Florida State looked in the Miami game. They stink. I mean, they stink.
What did Michigan do that gives you confidence in the Wolverines?
They put a quarterback in and scored 42 points in the second half against Rutgers, man.
I could score against Rutgers.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I disagree.
No, you can't, man. No, you can't.
I don't know. Michigan hasn't given me.
Greg Schiano's one of the great defensive minds in college football of the last 30 years. No, man, you're way off base here, man. Vandy against Missouri. Yeah, Penn State is awful. I mean, awful.
Oh yeah, they're bad.
They are bad, man. And Michigan stinks. But this quarterback gives them a shot, man. Joe Milton was all over the place. I talked about this before. This guy's a great athlete, but he's all over the place, man. He can't complete a pass. This quarterback's dropping dimes. This is Michigan. It's like, we know I'm not a Michigan fan, right? I mean, we know that, right? I called them soft pansy asses the other day, right? It's like, but I'm not saying they don't get their guys. They get their guys, man. It's like that's what makes Harbaugh just such the hideous coach that he is. It's not like they don't have talent. They have the guys, They got the guys. And this is one of the, they're 5-6 deep at quarterback. That's the whole problem. Like, why do you play Joe Milton when you're 6 deep at quarterback, man? It's like... You
don't find it suspicious at all, this line? Doesn't seem a little too easy to
It was Michigan? The exact same thing that happened last week against Iowa when they got slaughtered. They got housed. It was the exact same thing. Exactly the same. If you look at the line movement from the Iowa game last week, I mean, you could put it on top of this one. You could put it right on top of it. And this is my put it on top of it hand gesture.
I was much better.
Ron looks a little bored by it, but it's like he knows this is the gesture. Kind of like Michigan in this one. Missouri against Vandy. This is another one with sharp line movement to Vandy. 0-7. 4-3 against the number, though. Mizzou has been pretty good, man. I don't know. Brian, what do you see?
A lot of people like the under in this one, and I guess I have to agree with a lot of people. I know it's dropped about 3.5 points here, but I don't see many points coming from Vandy, and I like Missouri's defense. Give me the under here. I think it goes under 51.5.
Chris is a big Eli Drinkowitz guy. What do you like?
I'm preparing myself for the laugh track because I'm going to take Vandy. I'm going to put a little bit on Vandy money line because I think this is their last chance to win a game this season. I know Missouri's well coached with Eli Drinkowitz, but we're starting to see Vanderbilt play a little bit better, and I think if they're going to get one, this is going to be it. So I expect Vanderbilt to throw everything at the wall this one.
Ron?
I'm going to take the over here. I think Vanderbilt, I like the way they moved the ball against Florida, scored 17 points against the Gators. And, Missouri is definitely going to be able to put up points against this porous Vanderbilt defense. I think we get the over here. It's only 51. I think we get over.
Rod?
For me in this one, you got to take Vandy in the points. I don't know if they're going to win this game outright, but they're definitely going to. I'll take the points, Vandy in the points. They're actually 3-0 ATS on the road. So give me Vandy in the points.
And Missouri's 3-0 ATS at home.
At home? So someone's always got to go.
Yeah, someone's always got to go, but I don't think it's Vandy's O in the win column. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I'm one of the 6 people that watch these Vandy games. So if you get housed by South Carolina, you got a good chance of getting housed. If you get housed at home by South Carolina, you got a really good chance of Eli Drinkwitz doing some damage to you. I tell you, you had a dead duck coach at South Carolina ran up all those points on Vandy. Their coach got fired. It's like Eli Drinkwitz is like, this is a guy that they gave him an SEC job, and I could see it's kind of like Missouri's a place that generally doesn't go through coaches all that much. Pinkel was like one of the best freaking coaches, man. That guy was so good. He was there forever. And it's like he wasn't fired. He got sick. He had to go. But it was like he was awesome. I could see Drinkwitz being there forever. Lifer if he wants it. Florida against Kentucky. A lousy Kentucky team this year. Stoops is they're really excited about basketball season in Lexington, Brian.
Kentucky's been a big letdown for me this season, and they've got me pretty much a couple times this year. I think they might get me it again because I just think this is too many points. I know Florida has to win and win convincingly, but I think this is a 3-touchdown win for them, not any more than that. So give me the points. I'll take Kentucky.
It's true. If your profile pic is a dog, you will get rejected. Nice. Jerome got out of jail in time for college football Saturday. Congratulations, Chris.
I'm going to take Florida here. Gators have put up 38 or more in any of their games this year, and I just don't see Kentucky doing all that much. Even if Florida hasn't been all that great defensively, I don't see Kentucky doing anything. I see it was 38-10, if not more. So, give me Florida. Lay the points.
We're changing the contest to 3 picks because Rod said he wants to track that many. Ron, what do you think here? Your Gators. Ron is a Gator. Goes to University of Florida.
Chomp, chomp. Yeah, this one I'm going to take the over.
That was intimidating right there. I'm afraid to say anything now.
Pretty lax Gator.
Sophisticated Gator. Chomp, chomp. But I'm going to take the over here. Like Chris said, Gators score points in every single game. Kentucky only put up 3 against Alabama last week, but this Florida defense, something's up with it. I think Kentucky gets at least 2 touchdowns. I wouldn't even be surprised if Florida got 61 themselves. I'll take the over.
Kentucky got so housed by Bama last week. They got crushed. I rarely lay 30, but I did last week. Rod?
I like this over as well. Florida might be able to get there on their own, but this Florida defense is definitely giving up points. Kentucky can score a few on them. The Gators are giving up 28 points on D. It's not so good. I think Kentucky can do their part to help us get the over. So I think the over.
Yeah, I lean to Florida here only because it has little to do with Florida. It's everything to do with Kentucky. My wife, she always is like, you can't celebrate too early, on your games or whatever, because sometimes I get a little carried away, and then, so I made her watch on the big screen last week the entire Alabama-Kentucky game. I just left it on. The whole game. It was like Alabama put the backups in. And they were ripping off long touchdowns on them too. It was like Alabama was up by I think they were up by 50, and they scored they scored a touchdown from the 4-yard line at the end of the game. It was
what made you leave that game on?
What made me leave it on? Because my wife said it was still in question. I was only up. I was only up by 4.
I hate those kind of games.
I don't know. I have football on every TV and everything, I mean, I'm singing the whole time.
Except for early today when the Nittany Lions fight song will be playing. I don't even know it.
I don't have it as a premium. I do have a wager on that game. I'll probably bet it again before the show.
You know who the worst cover team in college football is right now, as we speak? 0-6 against the spread this year. Penn State, 0-6. Worst team. Worst cover team.
Oh, and who is?
0-6 Penn State going into this week.
Yeah, they're that bad. Ball State and Toledo. Ball State 2-1, but 0-3 against the number.
For me, I like Toledo. I think this is a 2-touchdown win for them. I know it's a lot of points, but if Ball State, I don't know. I just think Toledo finally gets a cover here, and it's not a game I'm rushing to bet. Far better value at 12 o'clock, but if I had to, I'd take Toledo.
Chris, quickly.
Ball State. All those games they've been favored in. That's why they're 0-3 against the spread. I think 10 points is too many. They can score.
Ron.
I like the over here. I think Toledo gets up to 40. Ball State should be able to do some damage on offense as well.
Toledo for me. Rod?
I like Toledo here. Ball State stinks. Just give me Toledo. I think they win by 3 touchdowns here.
Take off the gloves. Georgia State's taking on Georgia Southern. Brian? Georgia State 3-point favorites.
Yeah, real quick for me, this is a premium pick. Take Georgia State. I got in lucky right around -1 at a money line, but I still like them anywhere up to a touchdown. I think they crush Georgia Southern.
Chris?
I like the over here. I think we see a ton of points from Georgia State, and I think Georgia Southern helps us out to get there.
Ron?
After such a disheartening loss to Army last week, I think this is a spot where Georgia State takes over and wins this comfortably. I'll take Georgia State and lay the points.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Take Georgia State here. They win by a touchdown or more.
Got Syracuse against NC State. I like Georgia Southern in that one. Got Syracuse against NC State. This line has moved through key number after key number. Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under here. I just don't see Syracuse putting up probably not any points. They couldn't score in Louisville's defense. So I'm going to take the under here. I think it goes under the goal.
Chris?
Yeah, that's why I'm going to take NC State. I don't think Syracuse can do anything against NC State's defense, let alone Louisville's, like Brian said. So give me the Wolfpack.
What? What does that have to do with Louisville? They're not. Louisville's not in this game.
No, but I'm saying Syracuse couldn't score on Louisville, so I don't think they're going to do it on NC State.
Okay, Ron.
I'm going to take the under here. As bad as Syracuse is on offense, their defense actually has some talent. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I'd lean to Syracuse in the points, and I'd take the under.
Rod.
Give me Syracuse in the points. 2 awful teams. I think it's closer than this number. That number's way too big.
NC State by 4 touchdowns for me. Buffalo against Kent State. This line has dropped like a rock. I love Kent State in this one, Brian.
Yeah, I like Kent State as well. I think they could easily win the game outright. Buffalo's no slouch in the MAC, but I just think this is a huge value play with Kent State, so I'll take a chance with them with the spread and on the money line.
Don't cut them short. They're a tremendous slouch. Chris?
I think Kent State can is the team that can take over for Buffalo is the team to beat in the conference. So I like Kent State. Give me with the points, and I'll put some on money line as well.
You like that San Diego Charger look they're going for there, Kent State?
Golden Flashers.
Ron, you got to follow that one.
They're the Golden Flashes for a reason. Their offense is one of the most up-tempo I've ever seen. No huddle on every single play, even when they're up by 30. That means I like the over here. I think both teams could get to 40 in a blink of an eye, so I'll take the over.
Rod?
I like Kent State here. Both teams going to, just like Ron says, we're going to get some points too. We're going to run back and forth and back and forth. But 7 points too much. Take Kent State.
That was a triple pen popper for those taking notes at home.
I just wrote down Kent State to bet it again.
The Squares have come out to play, and they've come out to play in Bloomington, Indiana is where they can be found. Brian, speaking of Squares, 11.5.
Oh, yeah, I don't like anything square.
64 as the total in this beast.
Yeah, I'm going to follow the Squares in the total. I'm going to go over. I just see lots of scoring going back and forth, and a little bit of a letdown from Indiana coming off that Ohio State, where they just couldn't get it done. Give me the under. Yep. Give me the over the total. I rarely take over, so I'm not used to saying it. Over.
Chris, some serious public perception problems for the Terps.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to take. I'm going to take the over as well. I just see this being a high-scoring game. I could easily see both teams getting into the 30s. So, give me the over.
Run.
As bad as Maryland was in the first game of the season, they actually haven't been too shabby the past 2 games. I'm going to take them in the points here on the road. And I think Tua's brother, like Mitch said in the video, he says he's not going to be known as Tua's brother for too much longer. This guy's got some talent. I like Maryland here.
Way better than he looked in that first game.
Yeah.
Way better. And, in hindsight, Northwestern is actually really good, in hindsight, They've been doing some damage to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Rod?
I like the over here. Definitely both teams are going to score back and forth all day. Give me the over.
Back and forth all day. Over. East Carolina, SMU.
I'm going to go with the under here in this one. 69.5. I think it's sitting at somewhere between that and 67.5. Too much money on the over. I think it just sneaks under the total.
Chris?
Yeah, that number seems almost right on for me. I'm going to take the over, but not by much. I think we get into low 70s in this one.
10 touchdowns for Ruffalo. Got Ron?
I'm going to take East Carolina here at home. Ehlers had a really nice game last season against SMU. This was a shootout. It was like 59-52 or something like that. I think East Carolina keeps it close. I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but 12 points is too much for SMU to lay any time on the road. So.
Yep, East Carolina 2-6, but they've been in with some bruisers. They've been in with the big boys.
Yeah, I agree with Ron. Giving me East Carolina. I think SMU wins, but not by that many points.
East Carolina for me too. They're battle tested. It seems to me when SMU is in against the tougher teams that they fold like a tent. And I don't like soft teams, man. I just don't. Oklahoma State against Texas Tech, man. Oklahoma State. This team just seems like I've seen Mike Gundy coach poorly, but I don't even understand the game plan. I just don't even understand the offensive game plan here that they bring to the table. They didn't even have one against Oklahoma. I mean, I don't even get it. It's like, do you maybe try Chuba Hubbard at some other spots, like try and flank him outside or something? I don't even know. It's like, because they don't even have a quarterback that could throw it to him. The first string guy can't do it. The second string guy can't do it. It's like, I don't get it, man. I clearly don't get it. I'm taking Texas Tech. I'm not even looking at it. Brian?
I think Oklahoma State comes in here deflated from their loss to their hated rival Oklahoma. I think Texas Tech plays better defense. I think it goes under the total.
Chris, what do you think is going to happen today in Stillwater?
Chuba Hubbard running to the back of his offensive lineman again for 2 yards. I don't know. But I still like Texas Tech here as well. I just think it's a case of too many points for an Oklahoma State team that usually relies on their defense against an offensive Texas Tech team. So give me the Red Raiders.
Ron?
Yeah, I like Texas Tech here. After such a bad loss to their rivals of Oklahoma State, like Chris said, they rely on their defense, but that didn't show up last week. I think Texas Tech makes it a close game. I'd sprinkle a little bit on the money line here. I'll take Texas Tech and the points.
Is there a booby prize for the worst capper in the contest? Well, I'll heckle you. No, I'm just kidding. I will. I'm not kidding.
That could be a good moneymaker for us, too.
I'll be trolling your ass forever.
I'm sure we could find an old plunger somewhere, toilet bowl plunger somewhere.
We could also make personal statements about them and generalizations about their overall character, like people do to me when I lose a game. It's like your wife hates you.
We better put that in the rules then. Commenting from the peanut gallery is definitely allowed.
Your dog hates you. I don't hear Benny there because he doesn't want to be near you.
He got up and walked away when he was laying on your lap. He doesn't want to be near you anymore.
She took the Jags.
You know how big he is? He can't sit on my lap. Jeez.
You got a pick?
Not,
you give a pick
no
here?
lapdog. Yes, I got a pick in this one. Give me Texas Tech as well. No, that's way too many points.
I hate Oklahoma State. I hate their guts after last week. I mean, what kind of game plan was that? It's like, let's just stand around and watch these guys run over us. I mean, that was the game plan. It's like, and then our offense, let's look as inept and unprepared as we possibly can. Western Michigan against Northern Illinois, 3-0 versus 0-3.
Give me the 0-3. I'll take all these points in Northern Illinois. I just think it's anything over 17 is a good number to be at. So give me Northern Illinois. I think they keep it within 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
I think Western Michigan is the most underrated 3-0 team in college football history. Chris?
Yeah, and that's why I'm taking them here. You can hang 58 on Akron. You can probably hang at least 40 on this NIU defense, and I don't see the Huskies doing anything. So give me Western Michigan. I'll lay the 20.
How about you, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, this is a Western Michigan team that knows how to win football games, and if you win games, you can cover spreads, and I think they're going to do that here. But I think they win by 4 touchdowns against a NIU team that's just not the same. So I'll take Western Michigan at home.
Yeah, I agree. Give me Western Michigan. They're going to run right over NIU today.
I like Western. Bowling Green against Ohio. It seems like a lot of points, 24. Ohio does. I mean, I do like DeMontre Tuggle, though.
I'm going to go with Bowling Green. I think there's way too many points here for Ohio to cover. I don't see it being more than a 2-touchdown game, so give me Bowling Green, small bet.
I'm not rushing to bet this one, but I'd probably have to go Bowling Green as well. Ohio only put up 24 on Akron. I think that's the measuring stick for whether or not you can blow teams out in the MAC. So give me Bowling Green and the points.
Someone asked if the drive-thru is still going on. Yes, it was on yesterday. Thank you, Jay, for the super chat. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I had fun in the drive-thru yesterday.
Yeah, the drive-thru is Monday through Friday. They just didn't have it on Thanksgiving. Because the reason why it wasn't on Thanksgiving is because most of the games were early, right? Yeah. Like the football games were early and stuff, and it's like I was on at halftime twice. I was on at halftime twice. Ron, what do you got here?
Yeah, I think this is way too many points to lay with Ohio. Bowling Green, obviously they're 0-3, and they haven't looked great, but they've played Toledo, Penn State, and Buffalo, the three best teams maybe in the MAC. So I think Bowling Green covers here. I like them in the points.
Yeah, Bowling Green as well. Give me Bowling Green. Ohio. There's no way they're going to cover that massive number. No chance. Give me Bowling Green.
I put the max juice in the contest at -200 is what I'd put it at.
Ooh.
I think -150 is good, but -200 is fine, especially if you're getting 3 picks. I don't know, man. The last thing I want to do is hire a capper that's just giving out money line picks just so Brian can beat him up every show. We'll have him on just to beat today's pinata. It's like,
are they going by total units won or wins and losses? How's the final?
I don't know. You could have bought the Iceman had the Cowboys money line.
No, I mean when you guys decide who the winner is it going to be total units won? Are they going to subtract the juice off of it, or how's it going to work?
Yeah, subtract the juice. It's exactly. Right. It's going to work like.
I didn't know if you guys were just going wins and losses or what.
Juice. Right. Units. The whole
yeah, I wouldn't recommend anybody putting out -200s. That'd be a big mistake.
Well, you could have said that during your handicapping advice section that I asked for a contest at the beginning of the show.
He's like, I thought we had a firm grasp on the obvious here.
It's like, let me make a mental note for tomorrow's program.
Seahawks money line.
It's like. Notice how the Jackrabbits didn't get it done yesterday because I didn't take them. Anyways, I like Bowling Green here. There's no way I'm laying 24 points with Ohio with this duck and chuck offense. They don't even understand that play. Akron against Miami of Ohio. The Zips, 14-point dog seems like a little bit light here on this line. Brian.
I like the Zips. Give me the Zips here. They could win outright, but I'll take the 14 points.
Outright?
I'm not going to put
getting a little
myself
carried away with yourself, maybe. Outright.
Right is like 14 points in the Zips.
No, you just said Zips outright.
Yeah.
I said they could.
I'll bet you a hat on that one.
Anything could happen.
I'll bet you a hat and I'll bet you a hat and a jacuzzi for the front of the house on that. What do I get to? What are my odds on that for money line? Minus whatever. I'll have to ask the Iceman what they are.
Take Miami, Ohio.
Because I'm sure he put that in. Yeah, it's one of his picks for today.
Why is
the Iceman's got Miami, Ohio money line. Take it to the bank. The Iceman charging for that shit these days. It's cold. Chris?
Give me the under here. I don't see this one getting over 55.5. I don't even know if Akron will get to 10 points, and Miami, Ohio is probably not going to score that many either. So give me the under.
Ron Romanelli.
I'm going to take the Zips. I think Tion Dollar is one of the best running backs in the MAC.
I like Ron. Ron's a guy he picks just like me. I like Ron. He's a good guy.
Ron's a good capper, except when he makes picks like this. He has one or two every show. We're just, what are you thinking?
Well, this one, I like Akron. Give me the Zips. They're going to cover here.
Shellacked. They have no quarterback whatsoever. Rod?
I'm going to take the under. Give me the under 56. I don't see a shootout in this one at all.
Rice against UTEP. The Owls, 12.5-point favorites. This is like the sharp team of sharp teams has been Rice, but they're only 1-2 against the number. So it's just they've been like the Cleveland Browns a couple years ago, where the Sharps are all over them every game, and it's like, this is where the Sharps get their asses handed to them in Rice games.
The Sharps are going to dominate in this one. Rice, if there's a team you're going to lay over 10 points with, Rice is the team to do it. I think they crushed UTEP today. Easy money. Bet on Rice. You won't be sorry.
Brian all over the Owls like white on Rice. Chris?
I could go for some rice. Give me some rice with something on top. I don't know. A little bit extra on top.
Beef and broccoli.
There we go.
It'd be the turkey tetrazzini for most of us. We got so much freaking turkey.
I can go for turkey tetrazzini.
Got so much turkey, man, and pie. It's like, who the hell buys 3 pies? We only got 2 people. It's like my wife just wanted an excuse to get Cool Whip. Ron, who do you got?
I'm going to take the over here. 44.5 just seemed way too low. I think this could get to 50, 55 points. I'll take the over.
Rod?
I'm with Ron. Give me the over. Both these teams are going to pass the ball and get enough points.
I'm gonna take UTEP here. I just love the games where the Sharps get drilled, and I think this is another one of them. Got Texas State against Coastal. I'll tell you, my voice is still not 100% back after that Coastal touchdown last week. But I'll tell you, I've been on Coastal almost the whole season. I'm on Texas State in this one. I think the Coastal run, not of wins, but the Coastal runs of the covering and all the fun stuff, I think is over right here. I think this is one where the one where the Sharps take some names, is this game. Brian?
Coastal 6-1-1 against the spread. Texas State 7-4 against the spread. Texas State has been one of those teams under the radar coverers. I think Coastal Carolina, with that big game on deck with Liberty, I think they're primed for a letdown. So give me Texas State here. I like the points.
You realize, Chris, Texas State, this is their 12th game.
I know, it's crazy. it's nuts. But you know what? I'm having a nice juicy letdown sandwich here with Coastal Carolina, fresh off that win, the win over App State, and sandwich this game in between the Liberty game on deck. I'm on Texas State here as well. I think Coastal wins by 10-14, but not by 17.
Ron?
Yeah, give me a slice of that sandwich. I'm going to take Texas State here. I think this, just like he said, letdown spot for Coastal. I like Texas State.
I agree. Give me Texas State here. Too many points. Coastal wins by 10.
5-man consensus.
I'm going to throw this guy out of the group before he even gets started. Where are we? Sorry.
South Alabama, Arkansas State, maybe?
Oh, we're on a new game. Okay, that's all I need to know. I'm sorry, I'm doing customer service at the same time. We got some guy that... Can I spam your Facebook group with my pirated TV service? No, you can't. Matter of fact, I'm going to throw you out. South Alabama, Arkansas State. No, UTSA, North Texas, Brian.
Well, on my list, it's South Alabama.
Your list is wrong.
You're the boss, so we go with what you say.
What's the rotation number on that? The rotation number on that was 227, 228. This is 219 against 220.
All right, for me, North Texas, the mean green. It opened up at 5, down to 2.5. The big money bettors are back in North Texas, and so am I with a small play. Take North Texas.
Chris?
Yeah, give me the over 67. North Texas doesn't play a ton of defense, and I think that they can also score on UTSA, so give me the over.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over here. I think it's going to be just a tad over. I'm not in love with this game, but I think we get to 70 points, so I'll take the over.
I'm going to go the other way. I like the under. I think that's too many points. I don't think we get under that number today. Too many. Go under.
I like UTSA here, even though it looks to be a super square play. Super square. It's about as square as it gets. I'm not betting it. It's a lean because it's too square. It's too damn square.
Michigan's as square as it gets.
No. Penn State is the Penn State is the sucker bomb, just like they were last week against Iowa. Sucker bomb. It's like, ooh, the Sharps are moving the money. Let's jump on this shit ass team that can't fucking move the ball 3 yards. It's like, I don't think so. How about on the road? maybe if they, since they couldn't do it at home, maybe what we'll do is we'll put them on the road. And maybe they'll do it there. It's like,
how many
no chance. They have no chance. Slim just left town.
Do they let anybody in the game there at Michigan? I don't know what their rules are.
Are you kidding? The governor's like a Nazi, right? Michigan. It's like,
so it's gonna be a nice, quiet stadium.
Isn't Michigan like that? The state like where the governor's like got everyone like basically in behind bars or something. Like you wouldn't let them. It's like you're not even allowed to go to the men's room.
Use their boats, but then the husband was allowed to use his boat on.
Yeah, you're like not even allowed to go to the men's room or something. You know, it's like crazy. It's taken forever to get sports betting pushed through. It's like it's been at the finish line for like a month now. It's like someone hasn't kicked back that last little bit. It's like, maybe we could squeeze another 150,000 out of somebody. You know, I mean, that's really what's going on there. It's got to be at this point. Chris, what's that smirk? What's that? Wipe that look off your face.
How about that? Is that better?
No.
Oh, okay.
If you notice, your camera's kind of on the side.
Oh, sorry.
It gives you a weird look.
I've been told I've got a face for radio.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Give me Arkansas State here. Actually, they're gonna run all over the South Alabama defense and put up points in bunches. Give me Arkansas State.
Ron?
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to take the Red Wolves of Arkansas State here. I think their offense is just going to be too much for South Alabama here at home, so I'll take Arkansas State.
Yeah, I agree. Give me the Red Wolves. South Alabama's not so good on the road.
Taking South Alabama. I will not bet on a team that can't tackle. I just will not do it. I'm sorry, man. I'm not going to apologize for that.
Take South Alabama.
South Alabama for sure, man. Didn't they beat like Kansas State or something this year? Or Iowa State? Maybe one of those two. I think both these teams beat someone like that. I think one beat Kansas State.
Arkansas State beat Kansas State.
And South Alabama beat Iowa State, right? Something like that. Maybe they covered against Southern Miss. Same thing. Same thing. Louisiana Monroe against Louisiana. you know this one's gonna get ugly. Brian?
For me,
yeah,
I'm going to go with the over here. I just see a lot of scoring going back and forth. I don't know if the defense is going to be able to stop it, so I'm going to lean towards the over.
Chris, is there a more disgusting game on the card than this?
Not by a country mile. Give me Lafayette. I don't want anything to do with Louisiana Monroe. I'm not saying something considering Lafayette doesn't cover. So,
Ron?
I'm going to take the under here. I don't think Louisiana Monroe scores more than once, maybe. I think they could get shut out here. Louisiana should be able to win like 40-10.
Rod.
The Raging Cajuns love to play down to their team. So I'm going to take ULM plus the 29.5 points. I think that's just too many. Cajuns don't win by that many.
You lose money. Got App State against Troy.
Today is you love money.
I love money so
I'm
much.
betting against ULM.
Notice how I'm just ignoring that game even exists.
both teams are 3-5 ATS. It's
I know, but
kind of.
Is that game? Is that what is that on ESPN Plus? What is that even on?
ESPN 3.
They can't even see. They wouldn't even think of charging for that one. App State against Troy. App State 13.5-point favorites. Now we're under the 2 touchdown mark. So the Sharps moved this line from 16 downward, but now I think that it's crossed through 14. I like App State here at 13.5. I liked Troy before, but I think this is one of those ones where I think 14 is you're good. 13.5, 14, you're good. I don't like the 16.5 as much. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, I'll lean to App State here. I think they're a 2-touchdown winner against Troy. It's not something I'm running to bet, though.
I'm going to go App State as well. I think the Mountaineers realized after last week's loss they're essentially eliminated from the Sun Belt title game, and I think they take out some frustration here on Troy. So give me App State and lay the points.
Ron?
Yeah, App State's been terrible against the spread this season, but I like what you said. 13.5 is a key number, and I think they do get a win by 14 points. So I'll lean to App State with laying the points here.
Rod?
I'm going to go the other way. Give me Troy. App wins by 10. They're just not a cover team. They're 1-7. No thanks. Give me Troy.
Take App State. I like them at this number. When you look at those against the spread numbers, sometimes the number is off, because they go by one number and it's like I've had it another number. Like South Florida against Cincinnati, if you look at the against the spread records of those teams on most of these sites, it'll list it that, I forget who it says covered, but that wasn't the case. That game was a straight on push. The line was 21. I don't even understand where they get that number from. Auburn against Alabama, the Iron Bowl. Nick Saban, the Auburn game will not cure COVID this time. Only Georgia does that. Alabama, Auburn, Brian.
I'm going to go with Alabama here. I hate back in Alabama like I hate back in the Seahawks and the Packers. But for me, I just think Alabama's going to want to put a hurting on their arch rivals, so I'll lay the points.
Shocker. Chris.
Surprised as well.
It hurts me to say it.
I'm shocked.
Is that what that grunt was when you were giving out the pick?
Yeah.
going to take Alabama as well. I just think they're going to destroy Auburn.
It's like it's snowing in Hawaii. Weird, It's like
I just think Auburn can't protect Bo Nix. I think even with Alabama's lack of tackling against some teams, I think they're going to come after Bo Nix today, and they're going to be relentless on offense. So, give me Alabama.
Yeah, this year's Iron Bowl is going to be a slumberfest, in my opinion. I think Alabama wins this one by the end of the second quarter, and I'll lay the points with Bama here at home.
Oh, there we go. Goon. I got a goon. Mitch is a goon.
Goon.
Goon. Nice.
That sounds like a hockey term.
Yeah, hockey
We're not
goon.
even playing hockey yet.
Hockey goon. Dave Semenko and Mitch.
Those are the real Bash Brothers.
Yeah, Mitch and Semenko over here. It's like John Kordick, Mitch, and Semenko. It's like we have our goon section.
line brawl with Joe D'Amico and Brian Bittler against Mitch Wilson and Dave Semenko.
Kordick.
Well, me and Joe have our awards. We won our awards.
When I met Schultze, his hand was about this freaking big. It's like, how many people's face did that thing go across? It's like, my friend was drafted by the Sabres, and he had to play like in the minor leagues one year, and Schultze was his coach. And he introduced you to him. His hand was like this freaking big. It was like grabbed him by the arm like this. It was like... He's like, he says, like, before he introduced me, like, this guy's got the biggest hands I've ever seen in my life.
Roll Tide, roll. Bo Nix has looked awful this year.
Gus Malzahn has the best record against Nick Saban of any coach in college football history. Best record against Nick Saban of any coach out there. Gus Malzahn. Nick Saban's not even coaching in this one. But we know he's going to be in their ear. But, yeah, Gus Malzahn has the best record against Nick Saban of anything out there. You know what that means? He's got he's got his number. No. This is a game that you throw the record book out. This is not a blowout series. This is not Bedlam series or something. This is not a blowout series. This is not a blowout series. It just isn't. I'm taking Auburn in the points, and I'm going to cash big. And you guys are going to say, man, this is like, what's going on out there? Because this is not a blowout series. It just isn't. The games are not blowouts in this series. They just are not. They're more likely to come down to the last play than they are to be a blowout. Don't you guys watch anything?
I think there's far better places for your money than that game this weekend.
Don't tell me where to spend my money. If it was up to you, I would have been on Penn State last week against Iowa.
Well, we take your losses.
Number 1 college football handicapper.
Right. I'm kicking ass this weekend.
Tell me.
Today.
I think one of those sites was running 50% off yesterday. I should have bought the year of the Iceman. Like, that would have been freaking gold. I could just say, I'll just blindly give out the opposite of his picks every show. And I won't even say it, just say like, well, you know what that means? We're on Washington money line here. It's like, Auburn. Michigan State, Northwestern. It's been bad for Sparty since game 1. See, I always say this as a Miami fan, and Ron goes to Florida, and I think, what year are you in, Ron?
Junior.
Junior. So he's been there a few years now, but you're not from the area. You're from like the Northeast. But he's starting to probably at this point, he gets it. And it's like, and I say this to people, and they're like, oh, people that aren't from that area or from areas where that didn't grow up with college football the way that I did, they don't really understand this. And it's like, I always say, it's like we could go 1-11 at Miami. We can go 1-11. If that one win is against Florida State, I'm good, right? And it's like I say the same thing. If we had Florida on the schedule, if we went 1-11, that one win was against Florida. If they'll play us, I'm good. Notre Dame, Ohio State, that one win. I'm good. Michigan State, they beat Michigan, that one win. I think they're good. I think they're good, and I think they're good for the season. I think they're done. And now they're playing Northwestern. It's gonna be. I was at the Drew. What's his name? Drew, the guy who was Drew Stanton game against Northwestern at Northwestern, where Michigan State came back from 41 down. I was at that game, and I'll tell you, I don't think the Cats have ever forgotten. Anyways, Michigan State stinks this year. Brian?
I think they've forgotten. Northwestern off a huge emotional win against Wisconsin. Now they got to take on crappy Michigan State. I'm going to take the points here at the Spartans. I think they keep it within 10.
10 points? Okay.
Yep.
Chris?
Or 10 touchdowns. I know we're not big on trends here, but the road team 14-2 against the spread in the last 16 meetings. Northwestern 8-0 against the spread in the last 8 at Michigan State. I think this is a Northwestern beatdown. I don't even know if Michigan State scores here. They've been outscored 73-7 in their last 2 games. I'll take Northwestern here.
Does that clarify his ownership, Ron? Do they own them?
Yeah, I mean, not only do they own them, they own everybody this season. And, I just think Northwestern is a special team, especially when you look at last year's team, how bad they were. I mean, this was a team to fade every single week last year. And now, 5-0, ranked number 8 in the nation. I like them on the road here. I'll lay the points with Northwestern.
I've heard rumors, okay, and I'm not saying these are true or anything like that, but I've heard rumors from people that are inside the Ohio State program. And the rumor has it that their season is over. And I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard it, though, that their season is over.
Why?
Because the COVID is just so rampant at Ohio State. I told you both my nephew. I told you guys this months ago. My nephews went to go to Ohio State. They both got COVID, and all of their friends got it. It is rampant. It is the largest college, and it's the largest college cases of COVID. It is like really rampant there. So their season might be over. Northwestern might be the Big Ten champs. Rod? I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying anything. I don't know, but whatever. Just like Urban Meyer to Texas, right? I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I like Northwestern here as well. Sparty's looked awful this year. They have one big win. Other than that, no good. Northwestern's going to run over them. They're just too good.
Clemson versus Pitt. This is a real interesting one because Clemson was on the field last week against Florida State when their game got canceled. They're pretty pissed off because Trevor Lawrence had already missed 2 games. Now, I've seen some action on Pitt in this game, but hear me out, man. It's bounced off the lows, right? It was down to 22.5. It's back to 24. And hear me out on this one, okay? Trevor Lawrence is the Heisman candidate, but there's a couple other guys out there that are kind of, can make a statement for it too. Clemson has won a lot of things. I don't think they got a Heisman winner. I mean, they got a pretty hefty trophy case at this point. Dabo's really stocking that trophy case, kind of like our trophy case down in Coral Gables, right? But no, not quite, right? It's not quite to that level. I mean, we got a couple Heismans in there, and a lot of hardware. But they don't have a Heisman. And this is their chance for their Heisman. This is their guy, man. This is their guy. He promised them. He benched his starter that made it to the finals of the college football playoff for this kid. You think, maybe you think he's going to take him out thinking that he might come back next year or something? That's not going to happen. Chris? Brian, what do you think? I know you're probably taking Pitt here.
I'm definitely taking Pitt here. I mean, line opened at 26. It went down to 23.5. If you get 24, which is where it's sitting right now, I think you're pretty comfortable with Pitt. They're not a garbage program.
They're
I think
garbage.
They can keep within 3 touchdowns.
Straight garbage.
So take Pitt.
Straight garbage.
Take it to the bank.
Straight garbage. And, Chris, I'm sure you have this stuff right in front of you. What's Dabo Swinney's record against the spread in November games? About 600-0, I think. Clemson, I think, hasn't not covered the spread in the second half of the season in the last 7 years or something. I think the only time they didn't cover the spread in the second half of the season under Dabo Swinney was last year's national championship game, because every other college football playoff game they had ever been in, they were the dog in every single game. It's crazy, right? I mean, they're the dog in every single college football playoff game they've ever been in outside of that one. They were dog to Notre Dame that year. It doesn't even make sense. Chris, talk some sense into this guy.
I'm preparing myself for the look, but I'm with Brian on this one. I like Pitt. I just think that this is a 3-touchdown game. Clemson hasn't played in 3 weeks. Trevor Lawrence hasn't played in even longer. I know they're eager to get out there, but I just think Pitt is decent enough with Kenny Pickett under center. He's a capable quarterback.
What was the score of the Georgia Tech game against Clemson?
73-7.
Clemson's 2-6 against the spread this year. Money burners.
Yeah, but they always are slow starters against the spread.
Well, we're beyond slow start now. We're 8 games in.
Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence was out the last 2 games.
No, I'm not discrediting that. I'm just saying I think Pitt can.
It's okay.
Keep this one within 3 touchdowns.
Hey, there's got to be another. There's got to be another side. The casino can't afford to just keep paying me by themselves. Ron.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be on Brian and Chris's side in this one. Pitt is just not a garbage team, like he said. This is a team that's stopped the run this season. They've moved the ball pretty well. They're coming off a 47-14 win over Virginia Tech. I just think that 24 points is just too much. I mean, I think it's going to take a little bit for Lawrence to get going in this one, and I think Pitt covers here. It might be a backdoor, but I think that's just too many points.
Let's look at their road.
They could get Miami in the ACC title game maybe if they
6.5 point favorites at Boston College, outright losers. 11.5 point dogs at Miami, no cover. Let's see what their other road. Anything else on the road here? Well, last year at Eastern Michigan did not cover. So they covered against Florida State. Congratulations.
Pitt's like 3-4-1 against the spread, something like that.
Yeah, they're all at home. The covers are all at home. It's like, except for Florida State. Rod, what do you got? It hasn't been Death Valley with Trevor Lawrence coming off of a month, on the sidelines. I mean, expect to see a show. Expect to see an absolute show in this one.
And I like Clemson kicking the shit out of Pitt.
Anything south of 40 here is
Lawrence
a
chomping
bet.
at the bit. He's been chomping at the bits to get on the field.
He was mad last week.
Kick the crap out of
He was mad. He was. Did you
want
see?
A hat?
I mean,
hey, Brian, want to bet a hat?
It's
game?
I'll bet you a box of hats on this one. I think that what you see is Trevor Lawrence. He's one of the most vocal college players that we've ever had. He's one of the most. Usually the college players you don't hear a lot. He was the one when they were like, oh, they're going to cancel the season because of COVID. He was the one. I'm playing. You guys can cancel all you want. I'm playing anyway, right? That's what he said. And then he went on. They marched, right? He was active in the whole marching stuff. And then last week when they canceled the game, normally they say, well, they err on the side of caution, whatever. We were ready to kick the crap out of these guys. We were chomping at the bit. He was mad, man. He's like, these guys ducked us, is what they said. Clemson was like, we're going to err on the side of caution. Clemson's like, these guys are ducking us, is exactly what the comments were. It was like, these guys ducked us. They blew us all the way down here and ducked us. They were mad, man. Dabo Swinney came out and said they ducked us. It was the Dabo, it's the same thing like when the Big Ten's sitting out, we're going to sit out our season. It's like, you guys don't win anything anyway. We're going to count that trophy like, you think your trophy will be tarnished? Those guys don't win anything. They win nothing, man. Just an overblown bag of air. I mean, they don't win titles.
You give me 24, Rod? I'll take it for the hat.
I think it's at 23.5 right now, isn't it?
24. I'll lay 24 for a box of hats.
I owe Rod me and him have been going head to head in a bit. I'll take it for 24.
Brian, I'll bet you a hat and 6 car payments, man.
It's just bad luck. I can't bet with
Yeah,
you.
damn right I'm bad luck. It's like I watch the games, man. It's like Boston College against Louisville. Boston College laying 1 against,
Olay.
They shut out Syracuse last week. They're not that Olay. I'm going to go with the under here in Boston College and Louisville. I don't think last week was an aberration for Louisville's defense. I think they'll come ready to play in this one. So give me the under. A lot of running the ball.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm on the under as well. I just think, Louisville lost their star running back, and Boston College's quarterback, I don't think it's 100%. He's questionable for this game, so I see a lot of running the ball. Give me the under.
Ron Ruminelli.
Yep, I agree. I think both teams have actually been pretty good against the pass, but haven't been great against the run. So you're going to see a lot of running here. I think we get the under.
Ron, you think there's any correlation there when they're really bad against the run, they're good against the pass because teams just run all day on them. They don't even bother throwing. I think that's
probably.
It's kind of like
more in the case of Louisville.
It's kind of like teams that have really good records in the NFL are always some of the top rushing teams, right? It's like, running the football is the key to success. Well, it's double edge, It's like, yeah, you run the ball effectively. Generally, you run the ball and play defense, you win a lot of games, right? I mean, that's a time-tested thing. But there's also the teams that are up by 20 and just want to, just run the ball, Rod?
Give me Boston College here. I think Boston College wins this.
I kind of like I like the under. I see like 25, 23 times. Boise against San Jose State. This is one of those games because like you would think the money would just come pouring in on Boise on the blue turf, but the line hasn't budged. Brian?
No, I think this Spartan team from San Jose State's for real this year. I think it's a must-win game, obviously, for both teams. I'm going to take the under. I think we see a lot less than 57.5, 58.
Yeah, Docs is terrible, too. That's another good place to fade. I agree with you on that one. Solid choice there. Sorry, I let that one get away from me. Well, they're worse than I don't know. Those guys won't even show their picks. They're so bad, right? They refuse. It's like, let's just make up a record and slap it out there. It's like, Chris.
I'm gonna take the under here as well. I see it getting close to 58, but I see everything I've done finishes around 55, 57 points. So I'll take the under here.
I don't know if Docs makes up the records. Let's just say they don't have their documented picks out, documented records. So you have to just take their word for it. Take my word for it. I've won 700 games in a row. Just take my word for it. I don't get it, man. How do people buy this stuff? Ron?
How hard is it to get a documented site where it documents you?
It actually is. It's not that easy, but those guys make enough money that they could hire someone to do it manually.
Yeah.
They just don't want to show you. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If people don't have documented picks, they just don't want to show you. I took Jacksonville last week on the show. Ron?
Yeah, I think we're going to get the under here. It's a lot of points, 58. Boise State hasn't been great against the run, but San Jose State hasn't been able to run the ball well. So I think we're just going to see a hard-nosed game. I think one team has the edge, but I take the under as the play here.
Chris, did you give a pick?
Yes, I did.
All right, Rod.
I'm going to take San Jose here. I think that's just too many points. They've been cover machines. They're 3-0-1 ATS, 4-0. It's going to be a good game here. Definitely a good game. There's too many points there. What I see is a touchdown game. Give me the plus 11.5.
Wonder who the Iceman has. I like I like Boise. No one knows who
This
the
might be a
Iceman
record
is.
broadcast.
I could use a little help on this one. I could use a little help. I like I said in my video, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And San Jose State, kind of like Coastal last week against App State, San Jose State, this is rarefied air for them. And I think if they were home with the fans in the stands, I would like them in this spot to maybe even pull the outright upset. But I think this is one of those spots where you go into the blue turf and you probably get taught a lesson about what it means to get over the hump. Kind of like Gretzky's first year in the Stanley Cup final. You know, he kind of had to learn what it takes to, like, playing for the Stanley Cup. A little bit different game than these other games. Ole Miss against Mississippi State. The Egg Bowl. This one's in Oxford. Not that Oxford. The other Oxford. Oxford, Mississippi. Brian?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to lean towards Mississippi State here. There's going to be tons of scoring back and forth, and I can see a backdoor cover happening, so I'll take the 10.
I thought he was going to say, I think the Iceman's got Boise money line.
He might. He might.
It's
No,
not.
normally he doesn't go over minus 300. I think that's his limit.
I think I've seen bigger and badder than that. I've seen force.
Is that on the Ole Miss state or school slogan, the other Oxford?
No. Mississippi State is in Stark Vegas. This is
no. Oh, sorry. That's
Oxford.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, Oxford. Stark Vegas.
I saw him grab the board, so I'm going to bum off of Rod's birdcage trick. We talked about it off the air last night. I was planning on giving this out today, but I like Mississippi State on the money line. I just think that you can throw record books out the window in this one, and I don't like that Ole Miss defense, and with Will Howard taking over that air raid offense from Mike Leach, I just think Mississippi State, this could be a prime time to back him with the dog. So give me Mississippi State on the money line.
Ron?
I'm going to go one step back and just take Mississippi State and the points. I don't think they win this game outright. I do think there's value in taking them on the money line, but I think this is a 3-7-point game, so I'll take Mississippi State and the points.
Rod? All right.
Mississippi State wins it outright.
Their
defense is just a little bit better. I think they make a couple more stops. I think I take the over because I think we're going to see scoring all over the place, this back and forth and back and forth, and I think Mississippi State just makes that big stop at the end to get them the win.
I like Mississippi State also with the points. Got Rutgers against Purdue. Purdue 11.5-point favorites in this gem. Brian, I don't know where he went, but Chris is here. Chris, Purdue and Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm going to take Rutgers with the points. I think Purdue wins this game, but I think they win it by 10. I think 11.5 is too many. I just think this Rutgers team's well coached. I think they can hang with Purdue here. So give me Rutgers and the points.
Got 808 people watching. If you guys could smash the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. I appreciate everyone that shows up and watches our shows. That's for sure, man. 808. Getting awesome. Up there, man. Smash that like button. Brian, Purdue and Rutgers.
I'm going to take Purdue in this one. I think Rutgers really got deflated last week against Michigan. They gave them the hard fight, but I think Purdue takes advantage of them.
Ron.
I'm going to take the over here. I think both teams are going to score a ton of points. Purdue's offense looked really solid against Minnesota last week, and I think you're going to see the same thing here. But their defense wasn't too great. Rutgers probably be able to score some points. I'll take the over.
Rod.
Purdue by 2 touchdowns. I'm a fan of this Rutgers team at all.
I like the over in this one. I think Michigan showed a couple of Rutgers weaknesses last week. I like this Rutgers team. I think you guys got it wrong. I think Greg Schiano is going to turn this thing around. Colorado against San Diego State. This is a make-up, fill-in type game at a conference. It's like, hey, let's play some football. I like this. Colorado, -3 against the Aztecs. Boy, those Aztec fans, man. They just love YouTube. Love YouTube.
I'm seeing a 3.5 or so out there, so I'm going to take San Diego State. I don't see why they can't win this game outright. I think they bounce back.
Chris?
I'm going to take Colorado here. I really liked what I've seen from Colorado. Now they got rid of Steven Montez at quarterback, and I think they have an offense that's going to attack you from everywhere, something that San Diego State hasn't necessarily seen this year. So I think the one time they did see it was against San Jose State, and they lost that game. So give me Colorado here.
Ron.
Yeah, I think Colorado is a very similar team to Nevada, and San Diego State lost that game last week. So I'm going to take Colorado, lay the points. It should be a close game, should be a good game, but I'll lean to Colorado.
Rod?
I'll take San Diego State here in what's a field goal game. Give me the plus 3.5.
I always like teams with a stigma, and Colorado's got a stigma, a bad negative stigma from years of losing. I'm gonna stick with Colorado here. I think it's addition by subtraction. I'm with Ruffalo on that one. Montez was the problem, not part of the answer. I know Colorado, when they had Jim Leavitt as their defensive coordinator a few years ago is when they turned things around, and then he left and they kind of regressed a little bit with Montez. And now they look to be back. I really like Colorado. They're going to surprise some people. Duke and Georgia Tech, two disappointing teams, man. These are two teams that really bad. Two bad teams, Brian. You pick these teams a lot. These are your guys.
I like Georgia Tech here. I don't know why the public's confident with Duke. I know Georgia Tech's bad, but I'll take them at home here. I think they get by Duke.
Michigan line back to 1. Chris?
I'm going to take the over here. I think this is a spot where both offenses wake up. This just reeks of a 38-31 kind of game, so give me the over here.
Anyone knows reek, it's you. Ron.
Yeah, this is probably one of my least favorite games in the schedule today. As for the side, it could go either way in my opinion, but I think Chris has something on the total here. I like the over. We got to remember last time out, Duke gave up 56 points to UNC. Just a bad defense, and I think we get the over here pretty easily.
Rod?
I'm going to take the over in this one as well. I think we definitely get over this. We get over 60 points here.
I like Duke. Georgia Tech's especially bad. Especially bad. Navy against Memphis. This one down to 13.5. Brian?
I'm going to go with the midshipmen of Navy. It's just too many points here for me to pass up. I think it's a 10-point game at most for Memphis, so I'll take Navy.
Not the same Memphis team we've seen in the past, that's for sure. Chris?
Yeah, this is one of the ones I struggled with the most, but I think I'll take Navy as well. I think there's going to be a lot of option, a lot of clock chewing, and I think Navy sneaks in the back door and gets a cover here.
All right. Got Ron Romanelli.
I'm going to take Memphis here on the road. This Navy team is terrible on defense. And usually they have a much better defense, but this season they're getting killed in both the passing and running game. I think Memphis has the edge, and Memphis is not too shabby against the run, and obviously Navy's that triple option offense. So I think Memphis wins by 2 touchdowns.
Rod.
I like the over. Give me over. Definitely both teams are going to go back and forth running and scoring today. Give me the over.
I kind of like Memphis. I've gone back and forth. I don't love that game. Kansas State and Baylor. Baylor 1-5 on the season. Kansas State bludgeoned last week by Iowa State. I think you guys all took Iowa State last week. Or all took Kansas State last week. I had Iowa State. That was my one where I flew solo against you guys. Kansas State looked flat as a pancake. This is a team that's either flat or really good. It's like there's no in between with them. There's no in between. Brian, what do you think?
I'm going to take a chance with K-State here. Too many people on the Baylor bandwagon. So, I wouldn't shock me if they won outright, but I'll take the 6.
I don't even understand this Baylor bandwagon, but so be it. Chris?
I'm on the under here. Baylor team that's struggled to score all year long against a Kansas State team that's struggling right now. I see 21-14 or even 24-20 sneaks under this number, but I don't think it gets over. So give me the under here.
Yeah, I agree. I like the under here. This is a very low total for a Big 12 game, but I think it's low for a reason. Just 2 bad offenses, 2 defenses that have done decent things here and there, but I think we get the under.
Rod.
I'm going to take K-State. And this is going to be a field goal game. Someone wins this by a field goal. I'll take the points.
Looks odd. The whole thing just looks odd. I think it's under. Texas A&M against LSU. These teams don't like each other too much. I think this might be a trophy game.
I'll tell you what, this is one of the best free picks I've given out. Texas A&M's going to crush LSU today. Lay the points with ease here. No problem this one.
Chris?
I think if it was Miles Brennan at quarterback, it'd be with ease, but I like LSU with the points here. I'm going to put a little bit on LSU money line. They're 7-1 straight up against A&M since A&M joined the SEC, and 9-0 against the spread in the last 9 against A&M. And I think TJ Finley started to turn a corner at quarterback for them. I know LSU's got defensive issues, but I just think this could be a bit of a trap for A&M. I'll take LSU in the points. A little bit on the money line.
Ron?
I'm going to take the over here. Both solid offenses. Obviously, this is a much different LSU team than it was last year, and defense has struggled badly, especially against the pass. I just think we get over here. I think both teams definitely get to 30. Yeah, I like the over.
Rod?
I agree with Brian. Give me Texas A&M here. I'm not a fan of this LSU team. Their defense is not bad, but I think Texas A&M runs over them today.
I like LSU here in the points. I also like a money line. I'm with Ruffalo on that one. This is a rivalry of rivalries, and it's like I think you can't. This is the thing that makes college football just a different game. Kind of like what we saw in Oregon yesterday, where it really doesn't matter. A lot of times the record. And I've been to games like that. And I grew up with it, and I know that this is one of those games because this is like so you see it as an SEC game now. But this wasn't always an SEC game. Texas A&M just joined the SEC a few years ago. They haven't been in the SEC forever. But these teams have played each other forever, every single year, because they're rivals, because they hate each other's guts. And one of those things, where LSU, they always buckle the chin straps for this one. And when the team that's bad, they always buckle the chin strap. Now, remember, 2 years ago, these teams met, and LSU was the better team, and Texas A&M needed it to get to a bowl game. They threw the game on the SEC network, which I'm going to guess this game is going to be on also. And that's where the Dirty Tricks Committee is, right? It's like if they're going to have something funky's going to go on, it's going to happen on the SEC network. They're not going to do it on ABC in front of everybody, right? They just throw it on the SEC network.
They're going to do it on ESPN.
Oh, nice. Yeah. We're going to see it on ESPN. Something crazy is going to happen in this one. You watch. This is always a crazy, crazy game. Last year was the aberration. 2 years ago, it was 74-72, 7 overtimes. And I got to say that they gave Texas A&M the win. LSU clearly beat them. It was like Texas A&M needed the win to get to bowl eligible. It was the last game of the season. They needed it to become bowl eligible, and they gave them the game at the end. I mean, you don't get the 7 overtimes without some horrific officiating. I mean, just really horrific. You want to see left foot, right foot spots. You watch this game. This is like if you don't understand what I mean by the left foot, right foot spot, tune into LSU versus Texas A&M. This is the game where you see it. Speaking of rivalries, Georgia versus South Carolina, 2 teams that hate each other's guts. This is normally like the second game of the season, and if you look at the history of this one, right, always close. And the other thing about this one, South Carolina beat them between the hedges, what was it, 2 years ago, to knock them out of the national championship race. Now, here's the irony, right? And I mentioned this in my parlay video. Here's the dog of the day might have been. A little irony here for you. Justin Fields, the quarterback of Ohio State, transferred out of Georgia, man. If he would have still been in Georgia, they would not have nearly the quarterback problems that they had. This is kind of like when Cam Newton got thrown out of Florida, and all of a sudden the Gators, they didn't know what to do. And that's where Georgia is right now. It's like they had such a glut of talent there that Justin Fields transferred out of there. He would have been easily the starting quarterback. They probably would have beaten Bama. They had Bama dead to rights. They probably would have beaten them. They probably would be number 1 in the country if they had Justin Fields. But Justin Fields they're off this week for COVID, and they might not make it even back to the field. Brian, you know you like Cox.
Yeah, Fields didn't impress me with Ohio State last with too many turnovers, but in this game, I don't see South Carolina putting up any points. So with that being said, I'll take the under. I just don't see it getting up.
This is going to be like 16-9. Like, I don't even know who's going to win. 16-12 is this type of game. Chris? Can't hear you.
Sorry, this one's going to be ugly. I'll take the under.
Ron?
I'm going to take South Carolina and the points. This is going to be a close game. I lean to the under. But, I just think that the big rivalry game, I like South Carolina at home plus the points. It's a lot of points for a really not great Georgia team to lay.
This is a huge rivalry game. I mean, this is last year, between the hedges, South Carolina 20, Georgia 17.
Yep.
Every other game outside of that, there's been a few blowouts, but most of them have been within 2 touchdowns. You know, if you look back at the last 10 years, 45-42, 17-6, 41-30, 38-35, 28-14, 24-10. I don't know. Last year, Rodrigo Blankenship was the GOAT. Missing those field goals. Missed one in overtime. So you end up replacing Adam Vinatieri. It's kind of like following Eddie Murphy if you're a comedian or something. Rod?
Take the Cox and the under. He's like 17-14. Cox won't be so flaccid today.
All right.
You like the Cox.
You know. Washington against Utah, Brian. Couple of Utes.
I'm going to go with the Utes
here. Brooklyn's finest.
I know this game was put together pretty quick. Utah's better than what they played. So I'll take Utah here. Lean.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to lean towards Utah as well. This number seems right on for me, but I'll lean towards Utah on this one.
I'm trying to enter your contest. I can't figure out where to put my picks. Well, what you could do, you just read the rules to the contest. It's pretty self-explanatory. It starts December 1st. Maybe I didn't say that in the contest rules either. But it starts December 1st. Maybe I should have put that. So.
Well, it says it says there you can enter. You have till November 30th to enter the contest. Right. So you kind of. It's kind of self-explanatory there that you figure the contest won't start.
You got to put it. You got to put it.
I know.
Email Rod with any questions.
Yes. No. Ask
an email?
No.
I'll give you an email.
No.
Send all the questions
if you have a question, post it in the Facebook group because there are likely other people that have the same question. And this is why when people message me and email me and stuff, it's like post it in the Facebook group because if you have a question, you're likely not the only person that has that question. And it's easier to just answer it all at once. Chris, did you give a pick?
For the Utah game?
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
All right, Ron, did you give a pick?
Yeah, I'm going to lean on Washington here. I think this could be a push. I think the number's right on, like Chris said. But I'll lean Washington at home.
Washington looks pretty good. It's like kind of flying under the radar here. Rod?
Yeah, I like Washington at home here as well. I think that number is pretty close, but I think they win by 2 touchdowns. Give me Washington.
Hank Q said, College Game Day just showed a human interest piece. Imagine that. It's like, they don't even talk about football anymore. That Marty, whatever his name is, unwatchable television. I don't even understand what that guy's talking about half the time. It's like, just say it in English, man. I like Washington. UCLA and Arizona. I just can't help myself. I got to bet against UCLA every chance I get in every sport. Brian?
Yeah, too many points. UCLA might win, but they're not. I don't see them covering this one. It's just too many points. I'll take Arizona in the points here.
My wife is awesome, and the reason why she is so understanding of me watching the games is because this is how we pay for everything. This is what I do for a living, and she fully understands that. It's not like this isn't like a hobby or like a side thing or anything like that. This is what I do for a living. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to take...
Chris is going to say, yeah, this is what we do.
Is this how you pay for it? I'm going to pay. I'm going to take UCLA. I just think that the Bruins are starting to click under Chip Kelly, and I think this is where they maybe take advantage of a bad Arizona defense, but I'm not touching this game otherwise.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over here. Just UCLA can score, but they can give up some points as well. And Arizona's defense has been terrible so far. So I think we get the over here. I wouldn't be surprised to see both teams getting in the 40s.
Rod?
I'm going to take Arizona here. Keep it close.
Virginia, Florida State has come off the board. That game has been postponed.
It's like San Jose State might have as well.
Against Boise? All right.
I'm just looking to trying to
TCU, Kansas. We just keep rolling. TCU, Kansas. Ryan?
For me, TCU coming off letdown, back-to-back road spots here. I'm going to put 100 on Kansas and 50 on the money line.
I like Kansas too. Chris?
I stand firm on this one. I want nothing to do with the Kansas Jayhawks. I'll take TCU. I'll lay the points.
Thank you for the super chat, Kwame. Chris? Ron?
Give me the Jayhawks here at home. One of the worst teams in FBS, but I think they find a way to cover here at home. I like Kansas.
There's no chance of doing the drive-thru on Saturday and Sunday. It just doesn't make any sense.
I like Kansas here as well. TCU's just looked awful. Awful. That's way too many points. They're not covering that.
Thank you for the super chat. The reason the drive-thru doesn't make any sense on Saturday and Sunday, the general purpose of the drive-thru show, the premise of the show, the format of the show is supposed to be a late look at tonight's games. So like when we do the show in the morning and then the lines could have moved, players could be announced out, especially in the NBA, right? It's like, we have game cancellations, all sorts of stuff going on. So the drive-thru is supposed to be that last look at tonight's games. And the reason why it got off of that last look at tonight's games is because there wasn't games tonight. Like once baseball season was over, there was no more tonight's games, and it was just football. Everything was spread out. And Brian, before we had that stoppage, not stoppage, but kind of like in between that baseball and football, Brian, he was already crying a river on here. Remember? He was like, what are we going to do on the days where there's no, right? I was with him, I just wasn't as vocal about it. I mean, I knew we were going to have like this kind of light scheduled days, where it's like there's going to be days with either 0 or 1 game, and I knew there was going to be.
Up for it.
But we made it through. We gutted it out. Man. Tough bastards, man. We gutted that shit out. We all gutted it out together. We did? We bet some MAC football, just like a normal person does. And even those games got canceled. We still kept betting. We didn't care. We didn't like revert to soccer or something. We just kept betting. It's like, let's just bet on it. It's like, we just bet more on Bowling Green. I like Kansas here. I once, a few years ago, I bet on TCU against Kansas. I mean, they absolutely dominated the game. And, I'd never seen so many fumbles inside the 5-yard line in my whole life, man, than TCU did in that game. Gary Patterson's defenses are traditionally really good. His offenses normally shoot themselves in the foot like no one's business.
You see, there's people actually betting the TCU money line in this one. I saw.
Iceman?
I don't know who it was, but I don't know. They're like laying minus 2,000 or whatever it is, 1,500.
Why?
It makes no sense to me.
Hawaii is taking on Nevada. I'm going to guess this game's not going to get canceled because we don't have really a lot of COVID here. But this game is actually in Oahu. It's not here. It's in Oahu. It's plane ride away. But the Pack are in town. They're undefeated. They've looked really good, like a legitimate football team. But this is only their second road game of the season, and this is a hell of a road trip. And I got to tell you, it's been a little toasty here lately.
For me, I love this game. It would have been a premium play, but I'm a little bit greedy. I didn't want to be stuck up really late. I think Hawaii is a great bet, plus the points, even some on the money line. Nevada's a really good team, but I think they catch a Hawaii team that's out there to win.
The contest is in the Facebook groups. I'm going to do a live show. I might come on later each day before the contest and do a promo for the contest, like just a live thing saying this is the contest. And everyone's going to be like, hey, who do you like in this game? Who do you like in this game? The same games that we just went over. But, and I'm going to say, we gave these picks out 100 times. And I'm just going to be like, who do you like in the TCO Kansas game? Chris?
I think I'm with Brian on this one. I like Hawaii with the points. I just see this as a 4-point game. 31-27, whatever way you slice it, but I'll take Hawaii.
The contest and the rules are 100% through the Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, too bad. You're not in the contest. There's no exceptions. It's 100% in the Facebook groups. Sports Chat Place Facebook group, Pick Dogs Facebook group. You can enter twice, once in each. Ron Romanelli.
I'm going to go with the Rainbow Warriors, like you guys said. It's tough to play in Hawaii, and I think Nevada's had a great season so far, but I think Hawaii's going to keep this game close. I wouldn't be surprised if they won it, but I think it could come down to a game-winning field goal at the end. So I'll take Hawaii and the points.
I'm behind on the comments. Someone mocking Ruffalo's comment on the best running back in the MAC on that Akron. Rod?
I like the under here. I think that's the points are too high. We're gonna go under the total here.
I like Hawaii in the points. Like I said, they haven't been on the road much this year. They haven't been on the road much, the Bows. So, I mean, Nevada. And this is a lousy road trip, man. I love going to Vegas all the time. And how I always have done it here. But I'll tell you what, I have not missed it. I've not missed flying at all. I don't miss those 7-8 hour flights, man. Not one bit. Kind of finding myself kind of comfortable. Anyways, that wraps it up, except for the parlay section. Chris Ruffalo. Does anyone have any college basketball picks they want to give before we get to the parlay section? Because we didn't really have time to go over the games in depth. But if anyone has something that's jumping off the page at them and they just feel like they need to give a free pick on college hoops, I understand. I get it, okay? I don't want people to say, Mitch never lets them give their college basketball picks. Because I know you guys are thinking that. I know you're thinking that. There's only someone out there.
Have my lunch. I'm hungry.
We got some turkey left over and some pie and some mashed potatoes.
Yeah, I do have one college play.
Who is it, Ron?
It's in the 7 o'clock Nicholls State in Santa Clara. I think this Nicholls State team is, for some reason, not getting any respect from the odds makers. Well, actually, I see the line moving down as we speak. I saw it at 8 earlier today. Now it's down at 5.5. And there's a reason for that. Nicholls State is a really tough team in the Southland this season. The Southland looks to be really locked and loaded. Stephen F. Austin, Abilene Christian, Nicholls State. So I like Nicholls State in the points here, and I think they're going to win this game outright. So I take them on the money line too.
I got a college hoops birdcage after.
How about
I
you?
got one college basketball play.
What do you got?
I like the Liberty Flames today. I got in at +9.
I was going to say the same thing.
7.5.
Love Liberty. I've seen it.
I think they win it outright.
Love it, yeah. South Carolina defensive team all the way, so it's way too many points. I was going to say Liberty. I also like Tulsa against TCU. I think they could beat them outright as well.
Yep.
TCU, way overrated. I don't even understand that line. They beat Baylor last year. Congratulations. You can hang your hat on that for the next 25 years because Jamie Dixon is I don't get it, man. He's way overrated here at TCU. I mean, Tulsa's good. Tulsa's really good. They're like a tournament team.
I wrote down Tulsa also.
Like TCU is like a fringe tournament team, maybe. Like maybe a fringe tournament team, like a bubble. Tulsa's in. You know,
Yeah.
Tulsa's in.
Good.
They're in. I don't get it. I also like Baylor minus 20 or whatever it is against Louisiana. There's another team chomping at the bit. How about Fats in Rhode Island against South Florida?
I was looking at the under in that game.
I like Fats. I just like saying it. All right, let's get to the parlay section then. We don't have much time. Chris?
All right. Quickly, my basketball one is Buffalo with laying the points, Liberty plus the points, and where's my other one? Loyola Marymount plus the points. And then football, all money line. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. LSU money line, Mississippi State money line, Vanderbilt money line. Peso, I got it at plus 11,000.
I would round robin those because there's a few of them I think are sketch.
Yeah.
That's the term. I learned that term in the Facebook group. That's sketch. Rod, what do you got?
Well, yeah, I got one basketball pick. Take St. Louis. I like St. Louis over LSU today.
Slew.
Yeah, give me St. Louis.
The Billikens.
Over, the Billikens over LSU. Like that one. My college football. Go Texas Tech plus the points. Western Michigan minus the 20. And take Texas State plus the points. Parlay those three up. Winner.
Ron Romanelli.
I got a 3-team underdog money line parlay in college basketball. You take Tulsa plus 155 on the money line, Nicholls State money line, and UMBC Maryland Baltimore County money line.
Brian.
3 late college football, all could have been premiums. Hawaii plus the points, Kansas plus the points, Texas A&M minus the points.
LSU for me. South Carolina. And Kansas. Parlay 'em up. Mitch, thanks for joining me. Thanks to all of you that smash the like button. Show up every week, every day to watch our show. Thank these guys for showing up. And, of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. We want Romanelli to kick around, so... Ron, anything special you want to say to our audience since you're not going to be here? Anything NFL related? Maybe? Nothing?
No. Giants are a good survival pool pick, I think.
How about a first touchdown in the Sunday night game?
What's the Sunday night game?
It is.
Let's see.
It
Bears-Packers?
Bears-Packers, first touchdown.
I will go with Devontae Adams.
Brian, what do you rate that pick?
Fairly, it's a solid one. He loves Devontae Adams. Those two are fanboys with each other.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Get heckle Romanelli if it doesn't come in. Anyways, everyone, thanks for joining us. Have a great day. We'll try and act more professional. Tomorrow it'll be easier because Romanelli won't be here. Have a great college football Saturday.